So the next part is going to be the inquiry. So they've been to your website. They've now said, yes, I want, apparently this is how they type. They want to have contact. They want to reach out. I want to learn more. These are going to be my goals. Hey, I have bad knees. What are your rates? Whatever it is, they've reached out. One of the most common problems is the response of returning. So as we'll kind of look on the next slide, the faster you can respond to them, to their email or whatever it is, and the faster you can get them to come in from their, get their consultation after that, the better it's going to be to ultimately land the sale. So when they are committed to type whatever and then submit, the lead is warm. They've already kind of agreed something about you is interesting, something about them is desperate. And so they're acting. They've pressed send. And I have definitely found that if I check my email and it's got a note in there and I'll go ahead and, grab it and shoot them a text, they're like, wow, that was so fast. That's amazing. That was so fast. I've gotten lots of feedback on how impressed the person was that I've responded to them in a less than 24-hour period. And then if I've gone and then I've gotten an email on Friday night, and I'm like, I'll get to it on Monday. They won't return just because they've gone on with life. They no longer feel shitty. Now they're doing something else. So they've kind of they're like, nah, it doesn't really matter as much. So you really want to try and strike when the iron's hot. So speed matters. Respond in 24 hours, sooner the better. Schedule them to come in within 2 days, sooner the better. And with your message to them, you want to acknowledge the specific situation that they've kind of sent to you. So if you were to go to my website and you go all the way down, when it comes to giving the information, it doesn't say give me your information. Give me your contact info, even though I need it, because people can be like, no, I don't want to give you my shit. I'm like, tell me your goal. Just tell me what you want to do. How can I help you? And that's what their message is. And so then when I, text them back, I'm kind of doing a lot of active listening. I just hit that right back to them and it gets the game going. Once again, also for the automating, this is where there's different programs that are very helpful to handle a schedule and handle information and reminders. So the more a client understands what or a prospect understands what they're getting into, the more likely they are to lean in and keep going, essentially give you money. When people don't understand something, they get leery and they opt out. So the more that they understand what they're getting into, first they're just like, fuck it, I got to change. And so they're like, I need trainer, talk to me. So that's where the immediacy comes in. But most people have no idea what's going on for a consultation. They don't know what a training session is like. They have no idea what to expect when they're kind of going in. So I use Calendly. So everybody that is now here, click the link, and it likely took them to a scheduling page, and it gave them an option, which was probably just a single option. And then when you did it, you should have gotten some kind of a text saying, hey, thanks, you did this thing. You should have gotten an email saying, this is what we're going to be going over. And then afterwards, you're going to get an email saying what we just did. So there's this old saying, I'm saying that word a lot, that tell them what you're going to do. While you're doing it, tell them what you're doing. And then afterwards, tell them what you did. And so a person is constantly understanding where they are in this process that is brand new to them. I just have examples of real messages that I've gotten from my website and then my responses back to them. So you can see it says, hello. I guess this is how they talk. Hello. I'm looking for help to become physically stronger in a way that feels sustainable long-term. So physically stronger, long-term. This is Mark Bransky, the personal trainer you messaged. My name, and this is who I am. You have to definitely announce your name and then, your title. Like all this. I would love to help you become physically stronger in a sustainable way. When are you available this week for a consultation? Hi, I really need to lose weight and build strength. My goal is to be super comfortable with my shirt off around the pool or the beach. I feel like I need to put something on the calendar to make sure I actually commit. Hi, this is Mark Bransky, the personal trainer you messaged. I'd love to help you lose weight, build strength to look good shirtless. What's your availability for a consultation? I would like to help build strength as I enter my 40s. Hi, blah, blah, blah. I would love to help you build strength into your 40s. Like, I'm just throwing back at them specifically what they've said back to me. And then obviously here's like a really, really big one. So I've got some that are just like, I want to be strength in my 40s. Okay. And then let me tell you everything that's going on in my life. But one way or another, I'm just compiling it so that they understand that, yes, I hear you. I'm not just saying, great, let's get in shape. The next part that's not here is when it says, hey, what's your availability for a consultation? They could be like, hey, I could come in today. Hey, I could come in sometime this week. I'm going to have to take a look at my schedule. Whatever their response is, my next text to them is, that's great. Here is a link to schedule the consultation. So I'm not asking, to try to go back and forth with, oh, let's try this time, or let's try this time. I just need them to engage in the process. So first they engage in the process by going to my website. That's the first bait that they've taken. The next yes is when they send me the message. The next one is when they are thinking about when to schedule. If I just gave them the link and like, hey, schedule something, they'll probably look at it and wonder, and I've got the kids. But if I ask them, what's your availability? Not, are you available? What's your availability? They're already kind of thinking, yeah, when do I have time? When can I kind of do this? They're already carving out time in their mind. I'm just getting their commitment of what was in their head once they click the link. So there's these steps along the way where you can get the prospect to already start making forward decisions in order for them to basically commit. You're not asking them to do things. You're just having a request, and then they're doing it in their own mind.